Hi everyone, it's Faith Revell from the Valdez Museum, and today what we're going to do is some stitching on burlap. I've been inspired by textiles on display at the Valdez Museum, work created by student artists, a 7th grader in Kim Keller's home ec class, and a 1st grader who stitched on burlap. Here's what you're going to need for the project: some yarn, a needle, and this is a big plastic needle, perhaps a marker, some scissors, and some burlap. I've taken my burlap and put it on a hoop. Sometimes that's helpful if you're just getting started. First things first, you have to thread your needle. And I have a trick for you. Sometimes yarn has a tendency to fray at the end. So what I do is I loop my yarn over like this. I take my thumb and I slide that thumbnail through the eye of the needle like that. And I pull that yarn and loop through cleanly. Next thing to do is tie off the opposite end of that yarn and make a big loop and a knot. That's going to keep your yarn from coming through your burlap. When you stitch, you always stitch on the back side. So you put your needle through the back side, just like I'm doing the back side here of my hoop, and bring it forward till the knot catches. And then I make a stitch. We're going to do 2 today. The first is a running stitch. We'll come up. It's an up and down stitch that looks like a dotted line. I'm going to come away from that other stitch I made, so there's a space in between, and then back down through. There we go. Pull it taut one more time, and equal distant away again, up, and then back down through. Can you see that? It's like a dotted line. The next stitch to show you is a back stitch. It starts just like the running stitch. I come up from the back side of my work, pull my needle through, but instead of moving forward like I would if I was running, I'm going to move back with my needle and come into the end of that previous stitch and pull it back. I'm going to move forward away from the end stitch and then come back again into the hole made by the previous stitch. There you go. One more time. I'm moving forward right here and then coming back. You can see the difference between the 2 stitches. The back stitch is continuous. The running stitch has spaces in between it. So I grew up in upstate New York. My grandparents had a farm, and we stitched on old feed bags that they kept seed and the like in. And they cut us some string or some yarn, and it gave us a needle. We lay on our bellies, and we had a grand old time making scenes with suns and houses and people and dogs and cats and things in them. When I moved to Valdez, I bought this thing, which is a sampler that's made by a person named Thompson in 1957. And this person is stitching with embroidery floss, and they're doing that on flax. And it has a cool message on this. It says, "Greet the day with a song, make others happy, and serve gladly." And I think that's a perfect way to start and end your day. Check out the work made by students that is shown separately outside of this video. Like us on Facebook, and check out our museum page. We're constantly updating the virtual education offerings. And also take a look around your house and see things that might have been made by hand. It's a wonderful thing to value things that are made by hand and with a great deal of love. So that's how I'll leave you. Bye!